The Reading Fightin Phils are a minor league baseball team based in Reading, Pennsylvania, playing in the Eastern Division of the Eastern League. The team plays their home games at First Energy Stadium. The Reading Fightin Phils were founded in 1967 as the Reading Phillies, and they are the Double-A affiliate of the Philadelphia Phillies since 1967, and this affiliation is currently tied for the longest affiliation in minor league baseball. The team has been owned by the Phillies since 2008. The franchise has always been based in Reading and maintained its original name Reading Phillies from its establishment in 1967 through 2012. The Reading Fightin Phils are the oldest team in the Eastern League to play in their original and current city, with the most seasons under their original name. The Fightin Phils Stadium, First Energy Stadium, which was built in 1951 and was previously known as Reading Municipal Memorial Stadium, has been home to the Reading Fightin Phils since their establishment in 1967. The stadium seats 9,000 fans, and on July 3, 2007, the stadium celebrated their 10 millionth fan to attend a game. The Fightin Phils won the Eastern League Championship in 1968, 1973, and 1995, and were co-champions in 2001. History of baseball in Reading. Early baseball in Reading. Reading's first official baseball team, the Reading Athletic Club, formed in November 1858 and, for the next 15 years, played other local teams for unofficial championships and bragging rights. After the National Agreement of 1883, which organized major and minor leagues, the Reading Actives became a member of the Interstate Association, one of the two original minor leagues. The Actives went 33-35 in 1883 against teams from Brooklyn, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Trenton, New Jersey, Wilmington, Delaware, Pottsville, Pennsylvania, and Camden, New Jersey, finishing in third place before the league folded after the season. The Actives played sporadically for the next 12 years. The Reading Coal Heavers played in the Atlantic League from 1897 until the league disbanded in mid-June 1900. During this time, the world's first female professional baseball player, Lizzie Arlington, pitched the final inning of a game for the Coal Heavers. Baseball returned to Reading in 1907 when the York White Roses of the Class B Tri-State League relocated and became the Reading Pretzels. In 1911, the Pretzels finished with the best record in the league, but lost a best-of-7 postseason series to the team from Trenton. On June 14 of that season, George Jake Northrup pitched the only perfect 9-inning game in Reading baseball history. The Tri-State League folded after the 1914 season, but the Pretzels were resurrected when the Albany Senators of the New York State League relocated to Reading in August 1916. That league folded at the end of 1917 due to the First World War. Beginning in 1919, Reading played in the Class AAA International League with the Reading Coal Barons. Several future major leaguers played for the Reading team, owned by the Chicago Cubs from May 1927 until the end of 1930, including shortstop Bill Judges and pitcher Lon Warnock. In August 1929, George Kwelick set a professional baseball record that still stands today by collecting 15 hits in 15 consecutive at-bats. The Keystones franchise is now known as the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees. Reading in the Eastern League. Reading became home to the Class A affiliate of the Boston Red Sox in the New Yorker Euro-Penn League in 1933. The Reading Red Sox had a successful 2-year run before the team moved to Allentown, Pennsylvania. 5 years later, Reading got another baseball franchise this time, an unaffiliated team in the Class B Interstate League called the Reading Chicks, which lost the league title series to the Lancaster Red Roses. In 1941, the Chicks affiliated with the Brooklyn Dodgers as the Reading Brooks, featuring future Dodger outfielder Carl Furillo. The franchise folded after the 41 season, and Reading was without a team for 10 years. In 1952, the Wilkes-Barre Indians, an affiliate of the Cleveland Indians, relocated to Reading to become the Reading Indians. The Reading Indians played at Municipal Memorial Stadium for the next decade, capturing the league title in 1957. Several Indians went on to successful major league careers, including Rocky Colavito and Roger Maris. The franchise left town in 1961 and, after 1 year without a team, the Williamsport Grays moved to Reading to play for 2 years as a Boston Red Sox affiliate and for 1 more year as a Cleveland Indians farm team before relocating again. Reading was without a baseball team in 1966 before a new Eastern League franchise was established in Reading in 1967 as the Reading Phillies. Reading Phillies. The Reading Phillies debuted at Municipal Stadium on April 22, 1967 against the York White Roses. The Fightin Phils affiliation with the Big Phils has lasted unbroken since 1967. The Reading Fightin Phils relationship with the Philadelphia Phillies was solidified even further when the Philadelphia Phillies purchased the then Reading Phillies in 2008. With the end of the 53-year relationship between the Baltimore Orioles and their rookie league team in Bluefield, West Virginia after the 2010 season, the Reading-Philadelphia partnership became the longest current affiliation in minor league baseball. Reading Fightin Phils. On November 4, 2012, news broke that the Reading Phillies would be changing their name. On November 17, 2012, the team announced that its new name would be the Reading Fightin Phils. Logos and uniforms. The team colors of the Reading Fightin Phils are Phillies red, nighttime navy, ostrich gray, and flesh. Their logo consists of a white and gray ostrich outlined in blue with flesh-colored beak and legs putting up his fists in a fighting stance, with the red block Reading, and blue script Fightin Phils wordmark right above it. There is also an alternate logo with said ostrich's upper body in a blue circle outlined in red, surrounded by a red bust and Reading, and Pennsylvania tilted near the top and bottom, respectively. The Fightin Phils home uniforms resemble those of their Philadelphia parent. The caps are navy blue, and feature either a red feathered R, or the aforementioned ostrich logo without the word marks. The home jerseys are cream and have traditional red pinstripes, but are given a faux flannel look to the design. In the center is the red Fightin Phils wordmark with the player's number in red right below it. On the left sleeve is the aforementioned circular alternate logo, with the parent Phillies red P logo on the right sleeve. The Fightin Phils road uniforms, on the other hand, carry an almost completely different visual identity. That identity's primary logo consists of a hot dog named Bambino inside a bun with muscular arms and wearing a blue baseball cap, a white jersey with pinstripes, yellow wristbands, and a mustard B on the chest. In his right arm, Bambino squeezes a mustard bottle to form a mustard circle inside the surrounding sky blue circle. Inside the mustard circle but surrounding Bambino, are the words Reading, and Pennsylvania as in the ostrich alternate logo, but in a different yellow font, separated by a mustard stain. The caps are sky blue with Bambino from the aforementioned logo. Like the home white jersey, the road gray jersey is given a faux flannel effect. It carries blue piping on the chest and sleeves with a mustard script Baseball Town wordmark outlined in sky blue and black, with the player's number in sky blue right below it. On the left sleeve is the aforementioned Bambino primary logo, with the Phillies P on the right sleeve again. The Fightin Phils have 2 alternate uniforms, one home and one away. The home alternate cap is navy blue with a white feathered F with an ostrich fist serving as the middle stem. The home alternate jersey is navy blue with white undersleeves, carrying the white Fightin's feathered script and the player's number in white below it. The ostrich is on the left sleeve and the Phillies P on the right. The alternate jersey for road and select home games is black with sky blue undersleeves, with the aforementioned Baseball Town wordmark on the chest, Bambino on the left sleeve, and the Phillies P on the right. When this jersey is worn on the road, the Fightin Phils will wear a black cap with Bambino. When at home they will wear a sky blue cap with a mustard B. Season-by-season records, championship seasons in bold. Current roster. Notable alumni. Larry Bauer, SS, Philadelphia, Chicago Cubs, New York Mets, played in 155 games for Reading in 1967 – 68. Greg Luzinski, OF, Philadelphia, Chicago White Sox, played in 141 games for Reading in 1970. Bob Boone, C., Philadelphia, California, Kansas City, played in 112 games for Reading in 1970 – 71. Mike Schmidt, 3B, Philadelphia, played in 74 games for Reading in 1971. Willie Hernandez, P., Chicago Cubs, Philadelphia, Detroit, played for Reading in 1975. George Bell, LFOF, Toronto, Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, played in 22 games for Reading in 1980. Mark Davis, P., Philadelphia, San Francisco, San Diego, Kansas City, Atlanta, Milwaukee, played in 28 games for Reading in 1980. Ryne Sandberg, 2B, Philadelphia, Chicago Cubs, played in 129 games for Reading in 1980. Julio Franco, SS/2B, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Texas, Chicago White Sox, Milwaukee, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, New York Mets, played 139 games for Reading in 1981. Darren Daulton, C., for Philadelphia, Florida, played in 113 games for Reading in 1983. Juan Samuel, 2B, Philadelphia, New York Mets, Los Angeles Dodgers, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Detroit, Toronto, played in 47 games for Reading in 1983. Mickey Morandini, 2B, Philadelphia, Chicago Cubs, Toronto, played in 48 games for Reading in 1989. Mike Lieberthal, C., Philadelphia, Los Angeles Dodgers, Gold Glove winning All-Star, played in 86 games for Reading in 1992. Scott Rowland, 3B, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Toronto, Cincinnati, played in 81 games for Reading in 1995. Euro 96. Randy Wolf, P., Philadelphia, Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego, Milwaukee, Baltimore, Miami, Detroit, played in 4 games for Reading in 1998. Pat Burrell, LF, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, played in 117 games for Reading in 1999. Jimmy Rollins, SS, Philadelphia, played in 133 games for Reading in 1999. Nick Punto, 2BSS, Philadelphia, Minnesota, St. Louis Cardinals, played in 121 games for Reading in 2000. Jeff Geary, P., Philadelphia, Houston, played in 51 games for Reading in 2000. Euro 01. Marlon Byrd, CF, Philadelphia, Washington, Texas, Chicago Cub, played in 137 games for Reading in 2001. Brett Myers, P., Philadelphia, Houston, played in 26 games for Reading in 2001. Carlos Silva, P., Philadelphia, Minnesota, Seattle, played in 28 games for Reading in 2001. Carlos Ruiz, C., Philadelphia, played in 153 games for Reading in 2003. Euro 04. Ryan Howard, 1B, Philadelphia, played 102 games for Reading in 2004. Michael Bourne, OF, Philadelphia, Houston, played in 215 games for Reading in 2005. Euro 06. Lou Marson, C., Philadelphia, Cleveland, played in 94 games for Reading in 2008. Carlos Carrasco, P., Cleveland, played in 34 games for Reading in 2007. Euro 08. Demonic Brown, OF, Philadelphia, played in 102 games for Reading in 2009. Euro 10. Kyle Drake, P., Toronto, played in 15 games for Reading in 2009. Michael Schweimer, relief pitcher, Philadelphia, played in 37 games for Reading in 2009. Euro 10. References. Sources: Baseball Town History Book. Euro Reading Fightins. External links: Reading Fightins official website, First Energy Stadium events.